Have you ever faced something so big, so overwhelming, that it felt impossible to win? Maybe it was fear, maybe it was doubt, or maybe it was a challenge that seemed way too strong for you. Today, we're going to hear a story about a young boy and a giant. A story about courage, faith, and believing in something greater than yourself. This is the story of David and Goliath. Long ago, in the land of Israel, there was a time of war. On one side stood the army of Israel. On the other side stood their enemies, the Philistines. Every day, both armies faced each other across a wide valley. But there was one problem, a very big problem. From the Philistine camp came a giant warrior named Goliath. He was massive, over 9 feet tall. He wore heavy armor made of bronze. His spear was huge, and his voice was loud and terrifying. Every morning and every evening, Goliath would step forward and shout, "Choose a man to fight me. If he wins, we will serve you. But if I win, you will serve us." The soldiers of Israel were afraid. Even their king Saul was filled with fear. No one dared to face Goliath. Now, far from the battlefield, there was a young boy named David. David was not a soldier, he was a shepherd. Every day he cared for his father's sheep. He played his harp. He trusted God deeply. David was the youngest in his family. His older brothers were soldiers in the army of Israel. One day, David's father asked him, "Take some food to your brothers and see how they are doing." So David obeyed and went to the battlefield. When David arrived, he heard something shocking. He saw Goliath step forward and shout his challenge again. The giant mocked Israel. He insulted their people. And worst of all, he dishonored God. David looked around. The soldiers were scared. They were hiding. David couldn't understand it. "Why is everyone so afraid?" David asked. "This man is defying our God. Someone should stand up to him." Word reached King Saul that a young boy was willing to fight Goliath. David was brought before the king. Saul looked at him and said, "You are just a boy, and Goliath has been a warrior all his life. You can't fight him." But David replied with confidence, "I have taken care of sheep. When a lion or a bear came to attack them, I fought and saved them. The same God who protected me then will protect me now." Saul saw David's courage, so he agreed. Saul gave David his own armor to wear, but it was too heavy, too big, too uncomfortable. David took it off. Instead, he chose something simple. He picked up his staff, he took his sling, and he gathered 5 smooth stones from a stream. That was all. No sword, no armor, just faith. As David walked toward the battlefield, Goliath saw him. The giant laughed. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" He looked down at David with anger and pride, but David stood firm. He said, "You come to me with a sword and a spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord. Today, everyone will know that there is a God in Israel." The moment had come. Goliath moved forward. The ground shook beneath his feet. David didn't run away. He ran toward the giant. He reached into his bag, took out a stone, placed it in his sling, and with one swift motion, he swung it and released. The stone flew through the air, straight and fast. It struck Goliath on the forehead. The giant stopped. He staggered, and then he fell to the ground. Silence filled the valley. The giant was defeated. The Philistines saw their champion fall, and they ran away. The army of Israel rose with courage. They chased their enemies and won the battle. And David, the young shepherd boy, became a hero, not because he was the strongest, but because he trusted God. This story is not just about a boy and a giant. It's about facing your fears. It's about standing strong when others step back. It's about believing, even when things seem impossible. We all face giants in our lives. Sometimes they look like fear, sometimes like doubt, sometimes like problems that seem too big to solve. But like David, you don't need to be the biggest or the strongest. You need courage, you need faith, and you need to take that first step forward. So the next time you face a giant, remember David, remember his courage, and remember this: even the biggest giants can fall, believe and stand strong. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories like this. See you in the next video.